Hi. My next brew for the winter playlist is Sam Adams Winter Lager. And this presents a couple of opportunities to talk a little bit about some beer knowledge. So the two main styles of beer that there are lagers and ales. And really it comes down to the yeast and the temperature at which fermentation occurs. So ale yeast traditionally is done at about 70 degrees, give or take, and so there's a range right around there. And it just takes a little while, like a week or two, to complete fermentation. While lager yeast is done much cooler than that, down in the 60s, and is done for a longer period of time. And so oftentimes when people are doing a home brew for that, they'll have to set up like a refrigerated area to keep it cool enough for that lager yeast to ferment. So those are really where those two different styles of beer come from. And there are some hybrids that are using ingredients from both styles, but that's a little bit of history about a lager. Winter beer, and there's actually a category in the BJCP style guidelines for Christmas or winter specialty spiced beer, and that's 21B, by the way, that category name. And what it is throughout history, beer of a somewhat higher alcohol content and richness has been enjoyed during the winter holidays when old friends get together to enjoy the season. Many brewers produce unique seasonal offerings that may be darker, stronger, spiced, or otherwise more characterized than their characterful, yikes, than their normal beers. Spiced versions are an American or Belgian tradition, since English and German breweries traditionally do not use spices in their beer. So that really kind of dictates that the use of spices is dictated by what we call the German purity law, where they're not allowed to use anything but yeast, water, hops, and malt for beer. So adding spices is much more of an American or a Belgian style thing. Traditionally, the spices that are being used are things that are reminiscent of pumpkin pie or mulling spices, things like that. So this specifically has ground cinnamon, ginger, and orange peel. Other things that you'll see is like allspice, clove, things like that. And so you kind of get that kind of spiciness with a really rich, big, bold beer, and it actually balances out very nicely. So anytime that you're drinking something that says spiced, either brewed with spices or spiced lager or winter spice ale, you're in that specialty category. What I thought was interesting about this Sam Adams beer is it's actually built on top of what they call a wheat bock, which could, in its own right, had it not been spiced, fall into like a winter category as well, because it's a little bit more of a fuller body traditional box. I don't know if I even have a Bach video, but if I do, then that would be where to look. So anyway, to look to get more information about that particular style. So let's move on and take a gander at Sam Adams Winter Lager. Okay, so aroma. I think it's funny when I stick my nose in the beer. Holy moly, you'd think I wouldn't do that. So I get a subtle sweetness, and I can tell that there's a spice behind it. It's kind of like um, mm, cinnamon spice oatmeal. It's kind of what it reminds me of. I think there's in a spice lager like this, you're not going to get the same heavy hopping that you would out of other styles of beer. So getting that really caramel sweetness is what we're going to be looking for. So appearance-wise, this is a nice rich um, um, amber to brown, and it's actually pretty crystal clear. It has tiny little carbonation, so it's not going to be very heavily carbonated, which is going to lend to probably a thicker body feel. As far as flavor goes, This has an underlying sweetness that's kind of a fruity sweetness. I would say, let me taste again. Yeah, definitely a fruity flavor to it, kind of like a grape juice. There's a caramel, malty sweetness that's just really full and thick. Um, I'm getting little to no hoppy bitterness. The spice is definitely reminiscent of um, pumpkin pie spice. So I'm kind of getting that spicy citrusiness, and that pretty much falls right in line with what we're expecting with the orange peel. And so I kind of get like that just warm winter spice flavor. If you've ever done a boil, a spice boil where you boil ginger, clove, and orange peel, it makes your house smell really good. That's kind of reminiscent of what I'm getting here. But the spiciness that it has is very subtle. So mostly you're getting just a really nice, thick, juicy, sweet Bach, and they've done a really good job in that. I feel like this is very well balanced. Sometimes I get nervous trying things that are labeled as a spice beer because I feel like that's all that I'm going to be getting out of it, and then I'm not going to get the beer flavor that I enjoy. So when I've been doing some tasting of Bach's recently, they were like juicy, like a grape juice kind of a flavor. So that's the background that I'm getting here. But it's done in such a way that it has a full caramel sweetness that underneath that. So it's a very complex beer, and I'm really starting to love Sam Adams. They do a good job of um, creating traditional style beers done in modern ways, and I really feel like because Sam Adams is easily available, that gives people the opportunity to try all these different styles of beer without having to go to crazy places to find them, like a specialty beer store. Again, another hats off to Sam Adams for their great creation. As a matter of fact, I think this might even be on the yeah. Samuel Adams Winter Lager is listed as a commercial example for winter spice beer. So there you go. What winter beers are you trying this season? Share with me down below. I want to build up this winter playlist, and then I'm going to participate in a Google Hangout of a winter beer examination. So we're all going to hang out and try some new winter beers and share with each other. So I want to get some good ideas. So share with me down below. If you know a winter beer spice winter beer drinker, please share my video with them. I would love to build my population, my followers. I appreciate everybody. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day.